Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Finite and Infinite Games. Before we begin, we should clarify that the word game here does not refer to games in the traditional sense like hide and seek, or modern-day mobile and online games. Instead, the word is used to refer to worldviews, values, and philosophies of life. The ways we navigate around major topics and issues in life. In this book, the author, Professor James P.Carse, distinguishes between two types of games, finite and infinite. To interpret this usage and illustrate the difference between these two types of games, as an example, let's consider the competition between two corporate giants, Microsoft and Apple. In 2001, Apple unveiled the iPod MP3 player. The must-have gadget occupied the greatest share of the US market for digital music players. To compete, Microsoft focused on research and development. In 2006 they finally released their own Zune music player. The Zune was intricately designed and highly user-friendly. It was an exceptional music player. Indeed, in many aspects, it outperformed the iPod. Nonetheless, in the face of Microsoft's superior product, Apple didn't panic. In Apple's strategy meetings, the focus was not on beating its competitor. Instead, the company continued to discuss ways to develop its own business. After the Zune was released, about a year later, Apple announced its first-generation iPhone, successfully reinventing the concept of the smartphone. Music players became a relic of the past, almost overnight. Apple once again stole the market lead from Microsoft. The cause of Microsoft's market defeat was that its Zune music plan lacked a broader developmental outlook. The company failed to consider future possibilities. This was a typical finite game. Microsoft's plan was launched solely to compete with and defeat the rival company. It was a war with Apple. On the other hand, Apple continued to innovate. This was the mentality of infinite gameplay, focusing on long-term development instead of competition. Many outstanding enterprises succeed because they have an infinite play mentality. Such companies accept their ups and downs, constantly adapting to external changes in order to grow and develop over the long term. So, what kind of mindsets do these two types of games reveal? And what are their differences? Moreover, seeing as infinite games are so powerful, how can we develop an infinite play mentality? These and other questions are answered in this book. The book is Dr. Carse's magnum opus, comprised of 101 short chapters. Kevin Kelly, the author of Out of Control, claims that it altered my thinking about life, the universe, and everything. The wisdom held in this brief book now informs most of what I do in life. Its key distinction, that there are two types of games, finite and infinite, resolves my uncertainties about what to do next. Easy, always choose infinite games. Although it was written over 3 decades ago in 1987, the book's ideas have withstood the test of time, and continue to hold true in our modern technological age. In this bookie, we will discuss finite and infinite games in 3 parts. Part 1, Differences between finite and infinite games. Part 2, Finite and infinite play in different aspects of our lives. Part 3, Transitioning from finite to an infinite game. Part 1, Differences between finite and infinite games. First, whether the game has an ending. Finite games always end. The game concludes when someone is triumphant. Participants engage in the game with the purpose of winning. This single goal directs everything they do. This was the case of Microsoft, we mentioned earlier. The company released its music player Zune